Hi, my name is Mark Biernot. I'm a monetary economist. In this video, I want to talk about the human mind in relation to Russia, Ukraine, America. What's going on with its collective unconsciousness? I'm in Poland. I'm an American. I'm Polish. I'm actually ethnically Ukrainian. I have a little bit of insight into this because in 1971, Stanislaw Lem published a book. He's a Polish science fiction writer. He's actually a doctor. He never practiced medicine. He's from Lviv, okay, Ukraine, and he published a book in 1971. He lived in Krakow, not far from me. And it was called the Futurological Congress. I read it in college, okay? I read it in college, and it was about this psychoactive chemical that was released by the government where people were in these hallucinations. The hero, the protagonist, Ian Tichy, okay? He didn't know if he was in a dream or not in a dream. It was manipulation by the government in the science fiction work that the subjects don't know if they're an illusion or reality. How telling is that in 1961? And, in The Cage, Star Trek Original Generation with Captain Christopher Pike, it was kind of a similar scenario, if you know that. You can't tell illusion from reality. This is the case. This is the case that Russia, Moscow is trying to push on the West. If you don't believe me, let me take you a story from my childhood. The Soviet Union times. I had some neighbors that were learning Russians. They were so propagandized in their minds, they felt they were better, they knew it, that they were learning Russia. Russia looks like this clean place where equality and freedom and justice, right? Okay, now it's funny that the Soviet propaganda targeted the liberals back then, and now they target the extreme right. And, extreme right, I'd put these extreme libertarians who are basically extreme selfish. I mean, I tend to be more free market, but that's not the same idea of Adam Smith. So this extreme right is being targeted now in 3.0. Now, by the way, it's kind of cold here, and I've got this. It makes me big and puffy. It makes me I feel like Rogan. Whoever Rogan was, wasn't that some guy just looking up stuff on Wikipedia and declaring himself an expert? My underlying claim is, unless you've studied history, unless you lived in Eastern Europe, unless you have families that lived in Eastern Europe, Central Europe, unless you study about Germany and the suffering that those people went under around the world, you have no idea what you're talking about. When you make a claim, America, man, America first, buddy, what you're really doing is the Futurological Congress of Stanislaw Lem, the existential crisis that all of humanity focus on. Because America, baby, we're going to stop it at the borders is just another Russian amplified point. You don't see it. Look what's happening in Romania. Look what's happening in Hungary. Look what's happening in Slovakia. They don't need to win the war on the ground. If you ever play Civilization, the victory conditions change. Besides world conquest, you also have this social, cultural conquest where you conquer the whole world socially. That is the Russian long term. Putin, the Tsar of Russia, was in the Soviet Union during the collapse. He wants the revenge. He wants to bring this America at its knees in a very simple way through propaganding the psychoactive drug of the collective unconsciousness of America through social media. Isn't that what Stanislaw Lem wrote about? If you don't know the book, check it out. 1971 Futurological Congress. You know what it's like? It's like this. It's like downloading a free antivirus software. All of America and all the West did it. And it's actually a virus, like a Russian virus, infecting your software. The software is your brain, okay? You have to live in this reality to know it. They're even working on the Polish collective unconsciousness. I've seen this happen. I know it. My family has seen it happen. They've lived under this reality. So when you have these people now, let's say my friends and acquaintances in Florida where I live, are walking around, whoa, man, America's woke, we got to stop it. That amplification is coming from Moscow, okay? I'm sorry to say it. You're walking around, America, man, you're sticking your head in the sand like an ostrich. Aren't we all part of the global community? And a lot of them are Christians, okay? And when I'm talking about Christian, I'm Roman Catholic, I'm Christian, but I believe in science. I believe in neuroscience. I believe you could probably take away, if you wanted to, my faith by like triggering neurosurgery in my brain. I believe in evolution. I don't believe in any superstitious, anthropomorphic vision. My vision is every single church should say, all is welcome in my house, right? And I'm a person who takes it seriously. So when I have this extreme right mixing popularism and nationalism, America, baby, and these podcasters, oh, look how puffy I am, become an expert by looking up something on Wikipedia and just, rinse and repeat. It concerns me that we're going down the human consciousness Futurological Congress. Stanislav Lem, amazing science fiction writer. I've seen some streets named here, Ulica Stanislav Lem, okay? There's a reason we give tribute to these writers because sometimes, there's a lag in human consciousness. Can we get a way out? Captain Christopher Pike said, there's a way out of every cage, and I'm going to find it. But right now, we're being lulled. America, Western Europe even. And Russia always works on the margin. They always work like when it's 49-51, they'll push it the other side, flip it. And they'll use fear, the dark side, anxiety about things. And this is like a deep, they know what they're doing, okay? You can debate if they're smart or not smart, but they have very intelligent people working on these minds. And it's also in the crypto space, with using Tether, crypto coin, and it's funneling it into there. And then they're using, to spread disinformation. Can America recover? Can the West recover its ideals and Enlightenment values? Can it recover its true understanding of the world, the consciousness? I don't know. I'm hopeful. But when I hear people walking around and sticking their head in the sand, Americans being cowards by saying it's not our problem, we got bigger problems, and not seeing the biggest problem, the amplification of your brain. And once somebody's sold, it's like I was in sales, it's very hard to unsell them. They're going to create rationalizations and justifications. This Russian neuroscience and psychology is being studied to the T, and they know how to push buttons. Can it be recovered? Well, I think the first thing is people have to be aware in some way of what's going on. When I see, basically I've said it, you could generate, take a person who's saying, America, man, America, we got to protect the borders. You can take, create a chat bubble of maybe their top 100 words when they're dialoguing with you. That's pretty much the same. And you could generate in an AI a script. And so I don't even have to be talking to a person because I know what they're going to say. They're not going to be saying, objectivity is the essence of intelligence. And me as an objective thinker have to consider both sides. What is the evidence that you put down? What is the counter evidence? Oh, maybe I should live in Russia for a while and feel what it feels like. Oh, why are all these Russian people fleeing Russia and then wonder in places like Portugal or other places they can finally speak their minds? Maybe they should try some objective thinking. And even me, I'm no expert on life. I'm an academic, okay? I think I do pretty well in the chess world. I'm not Garrett Kasparov, okay? But I think I do pretty well. Why don't you guys follow people like Garrett Kasparov or Mark Hamill, Star Wars? People who have strived their whole life to keep their minds open. So read Futurological Congress, or at least the synopsis of it, Wikipedia. No, don't do that. Because fiction and stories convey an experience. And think about, and that's even at a higher level than just simply philosophy or data. Think about my neighbors when I was growing up who are learning Russian, and think about the neighbors today that are walking around, America, baby. Hey, I'm pumped. Think about the world you want to create for your future generations. We want to be one world of, many separate nations, yes, many separate ideas and identities, yes, but one consciousness that says objectivity and making this world a better place. My name is Mark Bernard. I'm a monetary economist. Have a great day. Thank you very much.